Classy girl hires 3 moms to raise her daughter. What if you could build the perfect mother? Not one woman, but a hand-picked team of specialists. A wealthy, high-powered socialite makes an unprecedented decision. She will not raise her own daughter. Instead, she hires 3 women to do it for her: the nurturer for unconditional love, the scholar for intellectual rigor, and the maverick for fearless independence. But what was designed as the ultimate childhood becomes a battleground of competing egos and clashing methods. We got exclusive access to the arrangement everyone is talking about, and we're about to show you how this revolutionary parenting experiment is about to come crashing down, lock, stock, and barrel. Hey, story lover! Welcome to the Narrative Hub, Reddit Stories. Believe me, this adventure gets wild, but it's only epic with you. Seriously, you make this possible. Want more stories? Greater adventure? Smash subscribe right now. Smash like. Comment below. Let's go. Meet Sophia Pierce-Williams. At 32, she's the youngest CEO in her company's history, commanding boardrooms with the same precision she applies to everything else in her life. Her Manhattan penthouse is a testament to her success: marble floors, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Central Park, and not a single thing out of place. But there's one area where Sophia feels completely out of her depth: raising her 4-year-old daughter, Emma. I can negotiate multi-million-dollar deals in my sleep, Sophia confides to the camera, her perfectly manicured hands clasped together. But when Emma cries, when she needs comfort, when she asks me to read her a bedtime story, I freeze. I don't know how to be what she needs. The death of Sophia's own mother when she was just 12 left her with no maternal blueprint to follow. Raised by a series of nannies and boarding schools, she learned to excel at everything except the one thing that now mattered most: being a mom. That's when Sophia made a decision that would shock her social circle and challenge every conventional notion of motherhood. Instead of hiring one nanny or au pair, she would create what she called the Mother Collective: 3 carefully selected women, each bringing unique strengths to raise Emma in the way Sophia felt she never could. The hiring process was nothing short of extraordinary. Sophia interviewed over 200 candidates, conducted background checks that would make the FBI jealous, and created detailed psychological profiles for each potential mother figure. Finally, she found her dream team. First, there was Margaret Maggie O'Brien, 55, a former elementary school principal from Boston with 27 years of experience and a warm, nurturing presence that could calm any storm. Sophia designated her as the nurturer, the woman who would provide Emma with the unconditional love and emotional security every child needs. Next came Dr. Priya Patel, 38, a former university professor with a PhD in child psychology and expertise in early childhood development. As the scholar, Priya would ensure Emma received the intellectual stimulation and educational foundation that would set her up for academic success. Finally, Sophia recruited Isabella "Izzy" Cook, 29, a former wilderness guide and adventure educator from Colorado with an infectious enthusiasm for life. As the maverick, Izzy would teach Emma independence, confidence, and the courage to take risks. Each woman was offered an annual salary of $85,000, full benefits, and living quarters in Sophia's expansive penthouse. The contract was 30 pages long, outlining everything from daily schedules to disciplinary approaches, educational goals to medical protocols. On paper, it looked foolproof. But as any parent knows, children don't follow contracts. The first month was a honeymoon period. Emma, initially shy around her new caregivers, began to flourish under the attention of 3 devoted women. Maggie would wake up with her each morning, making heart-shaped pancakes and braiding her hair with infinite patience. Priya introduced structured learning through games and exploration, turning the penthouse into an interactive classroom. Izzy brought adventure into Emma's world, building pillow forts that became kingdoms and transforming bath time into underwater expeditions. Sophia watched from the sidelines, initially relieved to see her daughter so happy. "I thought I had cracked the code," she recalls. Emma was getting everything she needed from women who were naturally gifted at giving it. I could focus on my career, and she could have the childhood I never had. But by the second month, cracks began to show. The first conflict erupted over something seemingly trivial: Emma's bedtime routine. Maggie believed in gentle transitions with soft music and extended cuddle time. Priya advocated for structured routines with educational bedtime stories that reinforced the day's learning. Izzy thought bedtime should be flexible, adjusting to Emma's natural energy levels rather than forcing artificial schedules. Emma started playing us against each other, Maggie admits, her voice tight with frustration. She'd tell me that Priya said she could stay up later to finish her puzzle, then tell Priya that I said she needed extra snuggle time, then convince Izzy that both of us were being too strict. The 4-year-old had inadvertently discovered the fatal flaw in Sophia's perfect system. With 3 mothers and no clear hierarchy, Emma became the ultimate authority. She learned to shop for the answer she wanted, creating chaos in what was supposed to be a harmonious household. The bedtime battles were just the beginning. Disagreements erupted over everything from dietary choices, Maggie's comfort foods versus Priya's nutritionally optimized meals versus Izzy's, let her eat dirt if it builds immunity, philosophy, to discipline approaches, social activities, and even how Emma should dress. We were like 3 alpha females competing for the same territory, Priya reflects. Each of us believed our approach was best for Emma, and none of us wanted to back down. Meanwhile, Sophia found herself in the impossible position of referee. The women she'd hired to eliminate her parenting stress had created an entirely new kind of chaos. Every day brought fresh complaints, conflicting reports, and requests for her to make executive decisions about issues she'd specifically hired them to handle. The situation reached a boiling point during Emma's 5th birthday party. Sophia had given each woman carte blanche to plan their portion of the celebration. What should have been a magical day became a 3-ring circus of competing visions. Maggie had organized a traditional party with homemade decorations, classic games like musical chairs and pin the tail on the donkey, and a lovingly crafted princess cake. Priya had set up educational stations where children could conduct science experiments, create art projects, and participate in a geography treasure hunt. Izzy had transformed the penthouse terrace into an adventure course complete with climbing walls, zip lines, and a camping area where kids could survive in the wilderness. 20 confused 5-year-olds found themselves shuttled between a tea party, a laboratory, and an obstacle course. Parents looked on in bewilderment as 3 different women gave contradictory instructions about everything from where to put presents to what activities were happening when. The final straw came when Emma, overwhelmed by the sensory overload and conflicting demands, had a complete meltdown in front of everyone. As she screamed and cried, all 3 mothers rushed to comfort her, each using their preferred approach. Maggie tried to soothe her with gentle words and hugs. Priya attempted to logically explain what was happening and help Emma process her emotions. Izzy suggested they all go outside and run around until the feelings passed. Emma's tears turned to confusion and then to anger as she pushed away from all 3 women and ran to her room, leaving a party full of guests and 3 heartbroken mother figures in her wake. That night, after the last guest had left and the penthouse had been cleaned, Sophia called an emergency meeting. For the first time since the arrangement began, all 4 women sat down together to confront the reality of what they'd created. "I hired you because I thought Emma needed what each of you could give her," Sophia began, her voice shaking with emotion. "But I never considered what it would do to have her loyalty and love divided between 4 people." Maggie wiped away tears as she spoke. "I love that little girl like she's my own. But she's not mine, is she? She's not any of ours, really. And I think she knows it." Priya, ever analytical, cut to the heart of the problem. "We've created an environment where Emma doesn't have security or consistency. Instead of one mother who might make mistakes but loves her unconditionally, She has 4 women who are all trying to prove they're worthy of her love. Izzy, typically direct, asked the question they'd all been avoiding. What happens when she starts asking why her real mom doesn't want to take care of her? The conversation that followed lasted until dawn. They talked about their original motivations, their growing attachments to Emma, their frustrations with each other, and their fears about what this arrangement was really teaching the little girl they all claimed to love. As the sun rose over Manhattan, Sophia made a decision that surprised everyone, including herself. "I'm not ending the arrangement," she announced. "But I'm changing it completely." Instead of dividing Emma's time and attention between 3 separate mother figures, Sophia proposed something revolutionary. They would all work together as a true collective, with Sophia taking her place not as the boss who pays the bills, but as an equal member of the team learning to be a mother alongside women who could teach her. The new arrangement required everyone to swallow their pride. Maggie had to accept that her nurturing approach wasn't always what Emma needed. Priya had to recognize that intellectual development couldn't come at the expense of emotional well-being. Izzy had to understand that structure and boundaries weren't the enemy of independence. And Sophia had to face her deepest fear, that she might fail at being a mother, but that trying and failing was better than not trying at all. The transformation wasn't immediate or easy. There were more conflicts, more tears, and moments when everyone wondered if they were making Emma's life better or worse. But gradually, something beautiful began to emerge from the chaos. Emma started to understand that she didn't have to choose between her mother figures or compete for their attention. Instead, she learned that she was surrounded by a circle of women who each loved her in different ways and who were all working together to help her grow. Maggie became the emotional anchor, the one Emma ran to when she needed comfort or when the world felt too overwhelming. But instead of competing with the others, Maggie learned to incorporate Priya's educational insights into their nurturing moments and Izzy's adventurous spirit into their quiet times together. Priya remained the intellectual guide, creating learning experiences that were now infused with Maggie's warmth and Izzy's creativity. Her lessons became less about perfect academic outcomes and more about fostering Emma's natural curiosity about the world. Izzy continued to be the adventure catalyst, but her activities now included Maggie's emphasis on emotional safety and Priya's educational components. A simple hike became an opportunity to learn about nature, process feelings, and build confidence all at the same time. And Sophia, perhaps most remarkably, began to discover her own maternal instincts. With 3 experienced women supporting rather than replacing her, she found the courage to make mistakes, to comfort Emma when she cried, to read bedtime stories even when she felt awkward doing it. The real test came 6 months later when Emma started kindergarten. Other children talked about their mommies and daddies, but Emma talked about her mom team. When asked by curious teachers and parents to explain, Emma would matter-of-factly describe how she had 4 moms who all worked together to take care of her. "Some kids have one mommy," Emma explained to her bemused kindergarten teacher. "I have 4, but they're all friends now. Mommy Sophia is learning how to be a mommy. Mommy Maggie gives the best hugs. Mommy Priya teaches me cool stuff. And Mommy Izzy makes everything fun. It's not weird, it's awesome." The unconventional family arrangement began to attract attention from child development experts, sociologists, and media outlets fascinated by this modern take on communal childrearing. Some criticized Sophia for essentially outsourcing motherhood, while others praised the innovative approach to addressing the challenges of single parenthood in demanding careers. Dr. Megan Martinez, a family therapist who began working with the group, offers a professional perspective. What Sophia created wasn't actually that different from historical models of communal child-rearing, or even modern co-parenting arrangements. The difference was the intentionality and structure she brought to it. Once they worked through the initial power struggles and established clear communication, Emma actually ended up with more consistent support than many children in traditional single-parent homes. But the real measure of success came from Emma herself. Now 7 years old, she displays a remarkable combination of emotional intelligence, intellectual curiosity, and adventurous confidence that reflects the best of all four women who raised her. "I think I have superpowers," Emma confides during a recent interview, her eyes sparkling with the mischief she inherited from Izzy and the thoughtfulness Priya encouraged. "I know how to make people feel better when they're sad, like Mommy Maggie taught me. I know lots of cool facts about animals and space, like Mommy Priya shows me. I'm not scared to try new things, like Mommy Izzy says I should be. And I know how to work really hard for what I want, like Mommy Sophia does." When asked if she wishes she had a normal family, Emma looks genuinely confused by the question. "What's normal?" "I think every family is different. Some kids live with their grandparents, some kids have two dads, some kids move between their mom's house and their dad's house. I live with my four moms, and we all live together. That's normal for me." The arrangement has evolved over the years. As Emma has grown, the roles of her four mothers have shifted and adapted. Sophia has become more confident in her parenting, taking on more responsibilities while still relying on her support team for guidance and backup. Maggie, Priya, and Izzy have all become genuine family members rather than employees, each with their own relationship with Emma that transcends any contract. They've also faced unexpected challenges. Maggie's battle with cancer last year brought the family closer together as they all rallied to support her while maintaining Emma's stability. Priya's decision to pursue a relationship that resulted in her own pregnancy required careful navigation to ensure Emma didn't feel displaced. Izzy's acceptance of a dream job opportunity in another state led to tearful negotiations about how to maintain their connection across distance. Through each crisis, they've learned that their unconventional family works not because it's perfect, but because it's built on a foundation of genuine love and commitment to Emma's well-being. Today, Sophia reflects on the journey with a perspective she couldn't have imagined when she first made the decision to hire three mothers for her daughter. "I thought I was solving a problem," she says, watching Emma play in the garden with the confidence and joy that radiates from a child who knows she's deeply loved. "I thought I was admitting failure as a mother. But what I actually did was create something beautiful that none of us could have achieved alone." The story of Sophia, Emma, and their unconventional family continues to unfold. Emma is thriving in school, maintaining close relationships with all four of her mothers, and developing into a remarkable young person who embodies the best qualities each woman brought to her upbringing. As for whether the Mother Collective model could work for other families, the jury is still out. What worked for Sophia's unique circumstances and financial resources might not translate to every situation. But their story raises important questions about modern parenthood, the nature of family, and the creative solutions we might need to support children in an increasingly complex world. One thing is certain: Emma Pierce Williams is growing up surrounded by love, supported by women who chose to put aside their differences in service of something bigger than themselves. In a world where family structures are constantly evolving, their story offers hope that love, commitment, and a willingness to do whatever it takes for a child's well-being can create something beautiful, even if it doesn't look like anything we've seen before. The experiment continues, one day at a time, proving that sometimes the most unconventional choices can lead to the most extraordinary outcomes.